My Gaube's Headbangers. I'm sitting here with, I'm not good at math, but 3/5 of Flotsam and Jetsam. Is that right? Right?
Sure.
I'm not talking about 3/5 of alcohol, AK. We got AK, we got Mikey Gilbert, and Ken Mary. And we, and myself included, very excited about your new album, The End of Chaos, coming out on the 18th. So it's right around the corner on AFM Records, which I just found out from AK. It stands for All for Metal. So apparently David Hasselhoff is not on that label. As much as the Germans love him, he's not on this German label.
Probably not.
Oh, well. What if David Hasselhoff went metal?
No, for sure.
What do you think?
He could be part of the metal dashboard when he crashes.
Oh, there you go. All right, so this new album that's coming out, The End of Chaos, right there, the title is kind of wrong because we've talked about this before. Ken Mary and I have talked about this before. It's more like the beginning of chaos when you all five get together because Steve Conley, Michael Spencer, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, but y'all get together. Craziness ensues.
This is true.
See?
But the chaos is all of the black cloud stuff that this band has gone through over the 35 years.
I never knew that.
Has gone. That's done.
Yeah.
There's no more black cloud, one step forward, two steps back. That's not happening anymore. So that's the chaos that we're putting an end to.
Well, that's a good title then. Very good title. Speaking of which, you've had a lot of changes throughout all the years. You guys started essentially what? Exact year you guys formed, Flotsam and Jetsam.
Ooh, 83? 83, I think. I think.
I joined in 85. So
it was 85.
It was
84.
It was a band before that, but it actually became Flotsam and Jetsam just before I joined. Dogs was what it was called.
Yep. We figured we got a new guitar player, we better have a new name. So you look at the guy and you're like, Flotsam and Jetsam, maybe? Does that fit?
No.
All right, whatever.
This guy, he's a good-looking dude. I mean, I say that platonically, but you aged very well back in the day. You were like the boy band boy.
He's only 22.
If I shave this thing off, I look like I'm 12. So
Yeah, shave everything off. We got a fresh new 12-year-old. It's Mikey Gilbert, everybody. Well, you got name dropped today, so here's something for everybody out there. Whatever your local music community is, support it. And what happened here in the Valley of Phoenix is Danny Zalisco, very famous promoter here, got everybody that was invited showed up at the Mesa Amphitheater, and they talked about doing local shows with local music. And David Ellison, good friend of ours, Megadeth, he showed up and he did he talked to the crowd a little bit, and he mentioned the first gig that Megadeth ever did was at the Mason Jar with Flotsam and Jetsam. How about that?
Yeah, and then...
Do you remember it?
And then Dave Mustaine announced to everybody my address and said we're having an after party. 3,000 people showed up at my house that night. How fun is that?
That's awesome. What did you do?
I don't remember.
And the first time I remember meeting you was down Tucson at the Rock. You were out in the parking lot getting some fresh air. If you remember that. So anyway, back to all the changes. All the changes. The newest addition is Ken Mary, right over there. He's that way. I have to be director here too. So anyway, I always say this. He's one of my favorite drummers. Has been since the mid '80s. And what does he bring to the band that has not been brought before? With all due respect to all the other drummers.
Oh,
John, you didn't answer that?
Yeah.
Maybe you should.
Ken, tell us about yourself. How do you feel about yourself?
Well, I'm one of my favorite drummers too, so that works out really good.
Well, I was saying in a previous interview, when he got in the band, as musicians, you really know, like, we would pick 3 songs to do auditions with the new drummers or a new guitar player when Steve came in the band too. And you usually know within that first half a song whether somebody's going to work out. I knew it within like 30 seconds is when he started playing.
I think you said 15 seconds. I listened to that interview. But anyway.
Yeah, it was instantaneous that he was the guy, no doubt.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the guy. First of all, he's got production skills. He's a hell of a drummer, one of the best, I think, and the backing vocals. And plus, he has been around the industry. He understands everything. He's been on the road. He's a veteran such as yourself, so I'm glad it all came together. Because originally he wasn't sure, right, that you were gonna make this basically a full-time band for yourself.
Well, I think when we started, we were just going to do a tour of Europe, and I think everything went well, and everybody had a great time, and so we just kept going after that. I don't think there was ever anybody that actually asked me if I wanted to be in the band. It's just
kind of accumulated.
It's like, well, he's still here. He didn't leave, so
He's ours.
I guess he's in the band.
Let's book some more shows. It's a stray dog that you take in and lets us leave, and it's ours now. Aw, kid.
The only question that we ever had, just from his history alone, we pretty much knew he could do the job. The only thing was, can we get along with the guy? You got to live with somebody 24 hours a day, on tour. And, partway through the first tour, we were like, yeah, I can handle this good.
He made it through his hazing, and then he's fine.
Which hazing?
I can't disclose some of it.
Right. Well, how long did you guys know Ken personally before him joining? Please silence all phones.
Sorry, I got to get this. No, I'm just kidding.
He's that popular.
No, I mean, I had heard of his career, but and looking at his career and the stuff he's done, I'm like, I don't know if this guy's going to be hard and fast enough for.
Did you ever listen to Chastain
stuff?
Or Impellitteri or?
I did, but it's still completely different style of stuff compared to what we're doing, and he didn't stumble a bit. There wasn't I need to get into this type of music or whatever. He just jumped in and was boom there, and there was never really any question about his ability. It was all can we be a big happy family? And so far it's working out pretty good.
Well, it worked out. It's like the Partridge Family. Amazing.
Yeah, he's Danny.
I could be. What was the manager's name? What was that manager's name that always sit there like this?
Mr. Kincaid.
Kincaid.
That's me now. Well, here we are to, again, The End of Chaos that's coming out on AFM Records on the 18th of this month, which would be, what are we, still in January, right? And already, Ken, a while ago, he allowed me to listen to some tracks, and I was like, dude, this is really good stuff. And now you've released a couple teasers, let's say, on Facebook, social media, wherever, and the latest Control, a lyric video, which seems to be all the craze these days, which is still really cool. But man, I played it, and this is what I wrote on your Facebook page. I said, dude, this track is busy. It made me all tingly, and it makes me tired listening to it because there's so much stuff going on. Every one of these guys are just putting out 100%, and you were even saying off camera that it's even rough for you. It's like, what I get myself into singing this way, and you got to do it live.
I wrote myself some stuff that I can't get out of now. It's all fun and games in the studio until you get on the stage and you're trying to do it live. You're just like, so it'll take me a few shows into the tour to get into it, but
I'm sure you'll be fine, because Ken and I, probably unbeknownst to you, we sing high praises of you. We really do. I don't want to sound cliched here, but you have aged like a fine wine. His voice, I think, is better now, and it's gotten better throughout the years than it was back when you first started. And obviously it's going to mature a little bit, but Ken and I talk about, we don't know how you do it. You go through like 40 shows in 43 days, and you've still got that voice.
I seem to get stronger as I go along for some reason. So when I sit and do nothing for a couple of weeks, then I can't sing anything. But a few shows in, I'm good.
Do you think your opera training back in the day has helped you throughout your career?
Oh, I don't know about that.
What about like breathing techniques and stuff?
I think it was all the bongs I did.
That's breathing technique right there.
Training breathing
Right. And the addition of Steve Conley. Now, how long has he been in the band?
Way too long.
5 years now?
Way too long.
6 years.
6 years.
Now, how does that affect your playing, Mikey? Because you guys play off each other really well. Like one of my favorite songs, when you guys do the like cutting heads thing, like in Crossroads, Smoked Out.
Smoked Out, yeah.
It's like, all right, show me what you got.
You know what? It's a competition. It's a healthy competition,
Right.
because we both have completely different styles. He's like an '80s metal, power metal bass guitar player, and I'm like the speedy stuff, you know, I'm thrash metal. So coming together, I think it's a good like conglomeration of what we're both doing, and I mean it shows on the last two records, you know, of the growth that you know in the band. But when we do solos and stuff like that, he's a monster guitar player, and we bounce stuff off of each other. Like he'll send me just the track of what you know of what he did, or just a few seconds of what he's been working on. He goes, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, you know, now I got to go back and redo all my shit because I got to keep up with that crap. You know? So yeah, good
So
healthy competition
so
there, and he's a pretty cool dude.
Keeps you on your toes, a little bit of a challenge, which keeps everything fresh.
Oh,
And Steve's learned rule number 1, which is Mike Gilbert's always right. As long as he remembers that, we're all
So does this
it's
mean
on the back of his guitar.
Do
so
I gotta
all has to
remember
do with
this?
The back of his guitar.
I'll tattoo it on my forehead backwards so when I look in the mirror, it's like Mikey Gilbert's always right. I'll never forget. How much does everybody contribute? And by the way, we can't leave out Michael Spencer either. He couldn't be here, unfortunately. But how about him on bass player? Because of course, you know, everybody always talks about Jason Newsted back in the day, and you've been through, you know, several different bass players. I mean, how many have you been through? Can you count?
47.
Holy!
I don't know. It's been
132.
It hasn't been that many, but we've changed bass players quite a few times.
Like four real bass players, maybe.
Yeah.
There's Troy Gregory, Jason Ward, Newstead, and Spencer. And Spencer's working out great.
Yeah.
He's you listen to you're gonna hear his bass on everything. It's monster.
Oh, I
bass
could
tones.
hear it,
Yeah,
and
it's
just
killer.
we're listening to some tracks right now, and you can hear that snap. I don't know, the punch. It's a nice tight bass sound. And how much production did Ken do on this? I can't remember.
Fair amount.
A fair
we,
amount.
We recorded a lot of it here at
That's-
Sonic Fish Productions, which is where we're at actually.
Yeah,
That's an advertisement. Here at Sonic Fish Productions.
That's right. It's Ken Mary's secret bat cave somewhere in the desert of Arizona, deep in the depths of Sonic Fish Studio, Flotsam and Jetsam. There you go. Coming soon. January 18th, actually. Anyway, I mentioned production before. Ken does amazing work. And the stuff I played for you, like, you know, name drop here, Fifth Angel, the last record he produced, I mean, amazing. And people are like, my God, this really sounds good. So, again, bringing his killer drumming skills to the table in production, I think helps out a lot. But back to the question about songwriting, does everybody contribute for the most part on the songs, especially like this particular album with, you know,
More
Kid?
so than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of our strong points. Is everybody's doing it now. You know, not just a couple people in the band. So, definite strong point.
Yep.
What's your favorite track?
My favorite track,
Yeah.
Control. It's the hardest Flotsam song to play that I've ever played. So,
And that's the one that I said is so
yeah,
busy. It
it's
just makes
crazy.
you start panting because you're like, oh my God. I mean, it just overwhelms you, but it's so killer. How about you?
Unwelcome surprise.
You probably had a lot of those in your life, huh?
I
Kind of like Dave Mustaine talking about party at AK.
I go off of basically the lyrics that I connect to the best, and that one's actually I stole the idea of that lyric from an Alanis Morissette song. So,
Wow. All right. Hey, you can take from anything, really.
That's right.
Anything that inspires.
it was just an idea. I didn't actually steal anything.
Okay. Well, Ken, what about you? What's your favorite track?
Track, probably to play Control and Prisoner of Time are
So
two of my favorites.
These are the ones we're going to listen to first when this record comes out. Obviously, we've already heard Control. Were the other two released or not on the social media or in videos? I honestly don't remember.
Prisoner of Time's not out yet.
Okay.
It probably will be.
Is that the one you were just playing?
Yep.
Okay. My
That's the
short-term
first one on the record.
my short-term memory's not that bad. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully, we can hear it a little bit more off camera. AFM Records, are they getting you a good push with this? Or you're gonna see, you're gonna find out.
Oh, they're killing it. They're killing it right now. I mean, there's the videos are out all over the place, and
Well, I'm definitely seeing it
tons of
pop
interviews.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's important. You know, it's great to have a record deal and everything, but when it comes to distribution and, you know, rock stars, distribution and real promotion, that's great to have that label support. And
Yeah,
then
they've been killer.
the tour that's coming up, that starts in, you're going to Europe?
Yep. With, Overkill and Destruction and
Mishiak.
Mishiak.
Interrupting my Oh my God, my cameraman is so popular. So you just mentioned Overkill. That's where Jason Bittner is.
Yep.
Right. So that's going to be kind of a cool little reunion.
That's right. We can ask him for favors. They're headlining.
Yeah, there you go. You got
He
your
actually
in.
helped get the band on the tour, from what I understand.
Yeah.
He was very nice and brought Flotsam on the tour, which was really cool.
That is cool. I mean, Overkill, geez, they've been around since pretty much probably your formation, right?
I think their first album came out like in 1942,
Yeah,
something like that.
they're that old.
They are.
I remember, I think the first time I ever heard of them, weren't they on one of the Metal Massacre
Yep.
albums?
Yep, one of the
first
early
songs.
ones.
Right, like one or two, I think, and then boom, they just, keep putting out album after album after album, and if you've ever seen them, they still kill it live. So that's a very cool tour. So when you come to the States, who are you going to tour with? Or are you headlining?
We're headlining. We're actually taking a couple bands out for most of it with us, but for the most part, it'll be locals, and whoever has the unlucky ticket gets to open for Flotsam.
I think a lot of people, especially in the Phoenix Valley, I can think of probably at least 5 bands right now that will be dying to get on that ticket. So you can play Willy Wonka.
All right.
Let's do that. How about that? We'll have
Golden
AK
ticket.
chocolate, kind of chocolate too. And
You got the golden ticket.
how
You
about
get
that? For the golden ticket, you can open
jump
up
in the
Flotsam
trailer
and Jetsam.
and tour with Flotsam.
Yeah. See, this is how my brain works, man. Come up with promotional ideas and clever little things for bands. It's what I do. So what else you guys want to mention?
We got a lot of touring coming up this year, and hopefully start working on another record right away as soon as we can. But we're
You're just gonna
We're
keep
not-
knocking them out.
we're not stopping anytime soon.
That's good. We love the music. I mean, you guys have been here in the Valley for so long, and then the cool thing is, you've got that European crowd, the out of the States crowd that still gives you so much support, and you can go out there and play in front of, how many people these days in those festivals like Sweden Rock Fest, or what did you just recently play that you were sent? Ken was putting a lot of video up, and there's just like tons of freaking
Was it
people
Wacken?
walking.
Might have been Bach.
Bach is huge, of course. Did you play Sweden Rock
It's like the
Fest?
Super Bowl of metal right
The
there.
Super Bowl of metal.
That's
Yeah.
what that is, yes.
You're getting in trouble right now, Mikey,
I
for
know.
mentioning Super Bowl without the express written consent from the NFL. I'm telling you, right? We're done.
I'm going to take a knee.
Oh my God, dude. All right, so to wrap things
Surprised
up,
he didn't jump on that one.
the end of Chaos coming out on AFM Records on January 18th, which is what day?
Yes.
It's that day.
Yeah.
Okay, next Friday, right? Yes, it's next Friday.
Should
It is
be a
next
Friday,
It's next
yeah.
Friday.
'Cause they-
AK doesn't care about calendars.
I don't know what day it is today, so.
It is Friday, yeah.
All right, so we'll be looking forward to that, and of course the tour. You guys got to come down to Tucson. Of course, you already have a Phoenix date, and if they're not coming to your city, demand them. Hit up AK,
Yep.
and don't
Hit me up,
forget.
'cause I have a lot to do with that. I have all the power.
And if, hey, this way, camera guy, Scott, this way. Okay, great. It's like Wayne's World. Whoa, 3D.
We're unworthy.
That's right. The after party is always at AK's house in Phoenix. So
Always.
we'll plan for that.
What's the address?
Uh-huh.
All right, really quick. Pimp your website, any social media, any links.
Flotsam and Jetsam.com, and there's nothing on there to see.
Wow.
There's
Well,
no posts from us or anything. No, you can find out all of our tour dates, any new releases we've put out before the record comes out next Friday, or any comments from the crazy fans that have been with us for 35 years. You can find on the website.
did you mention Facebook?
What about it? Nobody's on Facebook anymore.
Really? You're one of those guys.
I'm on Facebook like 12 hours a day.
Dude, this guy doesn't even know how to text.
I do. I don't.
So, if anybody's not going to be on Facebook, it's you. So what's your Facebook page? It's just Flotsam and Jetsam, right?
Yep.
And what's with the website? Did somebody actually steal Flotsam and Jetsam originally, so you had to put dashes in there?
Yeah, somebody, and there's nothing on it. We've tried to go on there, but we can't get
Somebody
it.
owns the domain. They're
that's-
haters.
And they won't.
I wonder if that goes back to Chaos.
I think it's an ex-manager or something.
That's part of the chaos then.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, cool guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me in Sonic Fish Studios.
Thank
Flotsam
you,
and
Mike.
Jetsam.
Thanks for coming down.
Hey, no problem. This way. I'm like Gaube. I'm out.